Okay, divine feminines, okay? And if you're cross-watching divine masculines to try to figure out your divine feminine, this divine masculine reading is killer. If you haven't watched part 1, go for it, okay? This is the Twin Flame channel, and I am a Twin Flame channel. It just happens to be. Contact me at twinflamechanneling@gmail.com if you want a free reading. The readings are below. You know what the drill is. Like, comment, subscribe. Turn on the little notification bell if you really like my readings and you have a little bit of fun here, because I want you to catch every single one. And please show some support. It doesn't really take anything from you, but I'm not asking for donations right now, and I know I'm gifted at what I do. So giving an energy exchange is always fantastic, and we really want as many twin flames to see this totally channeled information that is helping us to union. That's our intent. That's what's coming through. I know I've got the certain people that watch me for a reason, because we are all probably in the same boat. I trust that if you showed up here, you showed up for a reason, and you will get something from this reading. Okay, now, what God wants for this connection, what the fate and destiny is that this is the story of your life. This is the love story of your life. It is epic, but it's an inner journey, okay? It's not about the outer union or being in romantic bliss with, wedded bliss with your DM and him bringing you flowers. It's about realizing that even like the hiccups and the delays and the obstacles are presentations of flowers in its own gift to your growth. Okay? So when this, when mine ignores me, it heals that part of me that was not seen, heard, or understood as a child, or maybe in past lives, right? I no longer am triggered by that. I have grown. He's helped me grow. So I want you to know that the story has a happy ending, all right? But it's an inner thing. So journal, make notes of the signs and synchronicities. Maybe this is a book that's going to help other twin flames at some point. But remember, your story has a happy ending. You focus on that happy ending. Don't focus on any of the negative stuff. If there's anything you take away from watching my readings, do not focus on the negative stuff. Focus on the positive stuff and all the growth. Be grateful. A grateful heart brings in more things to be grateful about. It is simple, okay? We don't say this because we're regurgitating from like Abraham Hicks or Oprah or whatever. We know this stuff because we are divine feminines. We are like Isis, and if you're masculine, Osiris. We know this at our core. So this is truth. Truth resonates. If you're atheist, you're probably not here. But, so many atheists, I feel like it's like, why does over 80% of the population believe in something bigger and higher? I don't care what you call it. But why do 80%? Because we were told to? No, because we resonate with that. Because God shows up in our lives. Give me an amen in the comment if you agree, and like this. Show the world you are ready for love. Like, subscribe, turn on your bell. I'm getting good at this, right? I'm just kidding. Okay, the advice. Okay, we're going to do it backwards. And the blocks, the DFs, excuse me. Hold on, make sure that's correct. That was a DF block. And yeah. They're always way ahead of me, but I always check. I'm a little anal. Make sure everything's correct. What the DF want? What the DF wants? And how does the DF see the DM? And how does she relate to the DM right now? How is the DF relating? And where is she now? What's she up to in general? Okay, so where she is now. Ooh, playfulness. I love this card. I am a playful participant in life, and I have always had the option to make something a fun game rather than a heavy burden. Mary Poppins put sugar in the medicine for a reason. That lady really knows how to party. This is really a trippy card for me because my friends call me Mary Poppins because I bring gifts to their kids all the time. And I always make things a game or a party. Life isn't heavy. And we have a choice in every moment what we do with it. And I think this is right on when it comes to the feminines. They've kind of let go of the burden of this. Like, we've got too many stresses with the whole coronavirus and like, okay, who's taking over the world, what? And, you know, are we going to be able to travel this summer? Like, there's too much going on to like let this become a burden. Let's keep it light. All right. Now, is the divine the divine masculine interested in keeping it light? Yeah. So bring the lightness to it. Okay. How the divine feminine is relating to the divine masculine, she's showing him that she doesn't necessarily need him. But this is an interesting card because I feel like it's these two where they're the same soul in different bodies. They even might look alike, but her giving herself self-love is giving him self-love. Do you understand that? Because they are the same soul. They have crazy telepathy. They like, she can feel his emotions, he can feel hers. So when he's feeling fired up, it's usually when she's feeling great and happy and wonderful and on her purpose. I openly embrace a feeling of self-love, the PG kind. I love myself because I understand myself. I love myself as the most committed partner I will ever have. We come into this world alone and we die alone, okay? So if you're ever approaching any relationship codependently, like I have to have them to do my mission or I have to have them to have full love or be happy, you're coming from the wrong perspective. You must always love yourself first, and fill your cup before you can fill anybody else's. I show myself love any way that I can. And when I screw up, I remember to be sweet and gentle with myself. If not, I'm going to make myself sleep on the couch. You got that, self? I love that. But, you know, this is interesting. How about you guys? Are you hard on yourselves? I feel like divine feminines are almost perfectionist in a way. You know, we like to evolve and we like to do things right. And so when we know we did things wrong or we jumped into something, I mean, I kind of did a knee-jerk reaction yesterday and jumped into pitching a major mentor of mine, which he adores me either way, I think, but I just went hard. And he might think I'm a Looney Tune, you know, and I couldn't get it off my mind. Like, wow, did I make a mistake? I did run my pendulum on it and was like, yes, do this. So I'm trusting, but you know, let's try to be gentle with ourselves and realize that whatever is here for us is always here for us. So we can't make a mistake. We can't make a mistake with our divine masculines. I'm trying to communicate a little something to mine. I don't know if I'll send it or not, but I need to get out of my fear and just pick one of the versions of the voice recorded messages and just send it and just express a little bit, even if it's not perfect. Just know that it's perfectly imperfect, and I will never, you know, I'll never get anything done, and I'll just make myself crazy if I try to hold myself to that high standard, right? So stop it, divine feminines. Give yourself a break and pat yourself on the back and congratulate yourself. Be like, yeah, I did it, you know, because you've got to honor your wins. I never did that as a child, and it made me humble, but it also made me not talk about myself. And so even in dates, I'd be like asking the questions instead of like sharing who I was, because I didn't want to sound like I was bragging. So have a balance. Like, realize where you've got weaknesses or little idiosyncrasies because of how you grew up, or you know, things your dad said, or you know, friends said, or a relationship said. And give yourself a break. You are divine, which means you are a mother friggin' unicorn. All unicorns are beautiful, just the way it goes. It's just the magical part of it. And you have rainbow light inside of you. And you have a horny little bunny on your back. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, but probably the divine masculines are. No. Self-love. But yeah, he feels the self-love, so keep giving yourself the self-love. And right now, you know, sea salt baths, you know, stopping to smell the flowers, getting yourself a chocolate bar, like just the little things, like washing your hair. I'm saying washing your hair because this lady. But yeah, we all need to keep ourselves nice and clean. Get up in the morning, brush your teeth. Do not wait until much later in the day to brush your teeth. If you can shower early, do that. I recommend it. Okay, 10:10. So how the divine feminine sees the divine masculine, she sees that he's thinking a lot more positively. And I love that, because for a while he was thinking a little down in the dumps, hating on himself. So in the garden of my mind, I water the good thoughts and weed out the bad ones. And I want you all to do that. Like, you have positive thoughts, keep them. And if you have a negative thought, flick it to the side and cancel, clear, delete that, and replace it with a positive one. Replace it with a positive. What I say, replace it with a positive one. So any negative thought, like, he's just never going to come. I go, no, he's definitely going to come. I definitely have faith. Oh, I don't know if this is right. No, don't have fear. Buy fear. I don't have time for you today. Nope. You cannot take up space in my head today, because I got faith. Because I got to have faith, the faith. Because I know that this is real. And I know that if it's for me, which I know it is, I can't mess it up. So boom, take that fear. Right? So I throw in forgiveness and empathy seeds by the handful if I want. So always we have to forgive. Okay? I think the divine masculine forgives the divine feminine for whatever he sort of had in his mind, in the illusions he created in his mind, which were just excuses to try to stay away from you because his own fears of love. I'm telling you, it's right on, y'all. But yeah, you're both forgiving each other, and you're both being empathetic to each other and putting yourself in each other's shoes. Okay, that's the best thing to do if you're not understanding somebody. Really try to like see it from their perspective, through their eyes, and then it makes so much sense. I hate it when I see people argue and debate. It's like, I mean, I guess I developed that skill when I was younger, where if somebody's disagreeing with me, I put myself in their shoes. I'm like, oh yeah, no, we're not even in a debate right now. I totally agree with you. And so some people would accuse me of being like hypocritical, but no, I could just see all different sides. And I think that is very common amongst a lot of divine feminines and masculines, because we're so divine, we're wise, and we're intuitive. So we do see, I call it the 360-degree perspective. You know, this is before Anderson Cooper's show. I would call it the 360-degree perspective. We see all sides. So keep doing that. That's how you have empathy. Put yourself in others' shoes. And I take a lawnmower to that jealousy and resentment patch. I'm a pretty badass mind gardener. I don't really have jealousy, but I do sometimes get triggered when somebody is just outshining me. Not that I'm competitive, but it's like they're getting there first and they're doing it so well. It's like they're making all of us look bad, you know? But what that little irritation does, and I don't really get it anymore, but when I would used to get it, I would try to use that to fuel my inspiration to be better and to step up to the plate. Okay? Because I think a lot of us have those gifts. And I know even with myself, when I'm shining, I mean, my mom even told me, don't shine too bright. Like, you shine too bright. So it had me dimming my shine, and that's not the answer, okay? But some people will be really irritated by your shine and your leadership and doing it so darn well. I mean, when you have the knowledge and you package it in the right way, and you're even like fun, like Mary Poppins with your writing or whatever, people are going to be jealous. You know, they're going to feel irritated, even if they don't call it jealousy. It's going to irritate that in them that wants to be doing what you're doing, right? So keep on doing it, okay? No matter who is irritated by it. But how the divine feminine sees the divine masculine, that he is finally thinking positive and being the gardener of his thoughts and paying attention to the world around him. You know, I know mine said with this whole virus, he posted something like, I'm bored. And he was trying to be relatable. He's one of the most relatable writers, and he's usually really funny. But coming from a place of privilege like he is, to say that, I was like, ugh. because not that I love him, right? But there's people dying, number one. There's a lot of people who do not have the beautiful luxury houses like he has, or the money and just everything at fingertips. We have our phones, we have everything that we need, and geniuses do not get bored. If you are divine feminine or masculine, you are an innate genius, because you are creator's conduit. You are a channel for creation to come through you. That's why you are creators and co-creators with divine spirit. Okay, so you are a genius, and you don't ever get bored. So don't even front. Okay, you always got something to do, even if it's meditate and get a new idea. Patience. So what the DF wants from the DM, is patience. Congratulations, you've been granted more patience. You may start using it right away, or much, much later. Waiting a long time is sort of option now afforded to you by greater patience. Can you believe it? Look at this. You're still reading and you haven't started getting annoyed yet. Well, we're a little annoyed. Imagine how this patience will transform your life. Imagine how easy it will be to go to the post office. So patience, she wants him to have patience because she knows there's divine timing, and she knows if he's feeling like urgency, then she's going to feel it in her heart, and then you both feel stressed out and you can't make clear choices. So she wants both of you to have patience, and I think she also wants that from the divine masculine in herself, who wants to take action. It's like, you know what? You might have wanted to do it yesterday on the full moon, but you didn't. So step back and go with the flow and realize that the divine will guide you to when the right timing has approached. Okay? So don't push it out because you told your mind, like, oh, I'm going to get it done on May 7th because it's the full moon. And then, like me, I went to do laundry, and it was like 9 p.m. and I'm like, it's getting late, and I didn't send it. Okay? But today's a new day, and I might feel it today or I might not. I might feel it on Monday or maybe a month from now. Who knows? But we've got to have patience and give ourselves a break and just go with the flow, knowing that the divine is in control. Okay. What are the divine feminine's blocks to union? Ooh, wow. Okay. She's a teacher, okay? So if this is coming up as a block to union, I feel like a lot of you divine feminines, am I correct? Okay, yes. A lot of you divine feminines do not see your divine masculine as a teacher, or you don't see that everybody is a teacher. So because you're a teacher, you're like honestly getting in your ego when a student of yours tries to teach you something and you're like not listening. So remember that anybody giving you feedback or criticism or offering any information, it's truly, truly a gift. It's not criticism, it's feedback, and feedback is always a gift. That's my quote. Feedback is always your best gift. What is my quote? Something like that. Don't quote me on it. I'll tell you later. I've written quotes all my life. But, I said feedback is your best friend. So whether it's negative or positive, feedback is always your best friend because it helps you direct how to move forward in the process and evolve, right? People keep telling me like my Instagram posts are too long, and I know that people scroll through really fast and they don't read them, but I'm like, you know what? I use it as a blog. I'm creating content. I'm flowing. I have to be the divine flow. Look, I'm a channel, So it's easier for me to just flow and not have to spend a ton of time editing it, but there's probably tons of people who don't read the message. So I know that I really, really need to try my very best to try to edit it down or, at least do smaller, instead of longer, so that the message can hit more people and it can help raise consciousness, right? So if I was just like, well, screw you, I decided to use it as a blog, people can read it or not read it. That's kind of how it was at first. I wasn't screw you, but I was just like, well, it's a blog, and people either read it or they don't, because I know some people do, because I can see comments, some people have. But a lot of people, I feel at this point, I've gotten so much feedback that some people are irritated by it. They're just like, oh, doesn't she get it? And it's almost like somebody said to me, they go, advertising and branding. You do it all day long. Like, you do it all the time. This is one of your skill sets. So, people aren't reading that. Like, just smaller bites. And I'm like, okay, I got to listen to that, right? Sometimes we need to listen, sometimes we don't. But if something keeps showing up from another teacher, from this little guy who's a student, listen. It'll help you evolve. But right now, your blocks to union, I think, is that you don't see him as a teacher. So I want you to see him as someone who can teach you. You're not the wise one who knows it all and creates an imbalance with your equal relationship, right? You guys are equals. So there's areas where he's more advanced and areas where you're more advanced. Like I said before, he might become more advanced than you in like 3 months, okay? So everyone I cross paths with is a teacher in that moment. Anyone who talks to you is a teacher. That's why they're there. That's why you attracted them. The ones who give me the fun lessons are the ones I call friends. The ones who give me the hard lessons I sometimes call a-holes. They've chosen a tough job, but somebody's got to do it, right? This is exactly my perspective on it. So today, I'm thanking all the a-holes. Thank you, a-holes. Thank you so very much for playing your part and making me a better person. I love it. Yesterday, too, on Twitter, somebody was like, how could you ever say that? I said, I don't know about opening all the gyms, the petri dishes. Maybe like hot yoga and saunas are better because of the heat. And she was like, are you crazy? Are you a bot? And I was like, no, I'm not a bot. Are you a meathead, like, dude off his roids, needs to get to the gym? And turns out I didn't look at her. It's her, and she's a nurse, and she's fighting the COVID. And, I was like, I'm just really intuitive, and I feel like heat's good. I'm not saying it's going to cure the disease. And she's like, well, when people have temperatures, we can't. Anyway, we ended up having this great conversation. She said that nurses were originally going straight to ventilators, and they were killing a lot of people. And I was concerned about that. So I asked about BiPAP and some of the treatments in between, getting to the hospital and going straight to a ventilator, which kills like 80% of people. And she said, no, we're doing BiPAP right now. We had to figure it out. So it was just a good conversation. And I was like, I'm so sorry. She's like, I'm so sorry I called you a bot. And you seem really sweet. And you're actually right about the sunlight killing it. And because I said the heat, I don't think it necessarily helps once it's in your lungs. But if it's in your sinuses, I wouldn't doubt that. Like if I felt like I had it, I saw this one thing about putting the hairdryer up your nose. And some people might think this is crazy. But heat is normally kills viruses. So, I mean, maybe they haven't discovered this just yet, but I mean, not everything is how it seems, I feel. So anyway, long story short is at first she was an a-hole, and then we had this amazing conversation, and not only did we grow from it, and I realized that I need to look at people I'm responding to and figure out who they are before I just call them a meathead. I mean, I never am snippy like that. I was just having a weird day, and out of all the tweets I've ever written, I'm usually sweet and wisdom, and this was like the naughtiest, nastiest tweet I've ever written about like a meathead on roids. I just have had enough, Don't call me a bot, And anyway, my point is, not only did we grow, the people who read our conversation were like clapping and liking, and they just, because they don't usually see that on Twitter, that two people at odds come together and become besties, So realize that everything and everyone and everything you come across can be a teacher. So what is it teaching you? But I think that block to union, let's admit that the masculine's got a lot to teach us too. You don't have to be, just because you're more spiritual or you got there first, doesn't mean you always have to be the spiritual leader. Let's let go of that idea that a lot of us have mentioned, So what is our advice for union? Okay. Well. Maybe we needed to just think about acting, but not. Maybe we need to go ahead and act, but let go of all the expectations. Maybe we need to let go of all the burdens. Maybe we need to, just like I was saying, don't dwell on the bad things that happen. Let things go, because I have enough heavy things to carry right now. And also, grudges aren't a great look. So let go of the grudge. Let go of you should have done this, or why didn't you do this, or your karmic's freaking crazy, or, oh, so much pain. It's like not a good look, like let's stay in the happy, happy, joy, joy, fun, fun, because, and just like the magical, like if I speak to mine, I might say, here's how I really feel about you, and here's some of these synchronicities. Isn't that crazy? And oh my God, check this out, and listen to this story. Instead of like, for the longest time, I was like sitting on a fence and I had to hold back my own branding and my own, because I was waiting on you. And, and that karmic really did some horrible things to me. Negative Nancy. You seem so interesting. I really want to run to you right now with roses. Not, get over yourself. Get over the past. Like, we're living in a new world. Have you not woken up and smelled the Folgers? Like, we are living in a brand new world, and we can shape it, and we can literally have this heaven on earth. Or you can choose to stay focused on the negative of the past. The past is gone. We cannot do anything about that except, share how we felt or whatever. But diving into the negative of it, it really isn't going to do any good. All we can do right now is focus on the present moment, our truth, expressing that, gaining clarity, living our purpose, showing love to our masculines and feminines and whoever we meet on the journey. Being the best versions of ourselves. I call it being an evolutionary, a conscious evolutionary. I actually came up with that in connection to this project, and then discovered that that was actually a thing that existed. Barbara Marx Hubbard, she's amazing. If you want to grab one of her books, amazing, okay? It's not just like some of these basic spiritual books. I don't want to say basic, but like there's different tones. Like Girl Wash Your Face is a lot different than like a Barbara Marx Hubbard, right? But if you want to dive into some really deep channeled stuff, she's amazing. And she just passed away. Much love, Barb. We love you. But yeah, I mean, whatever source I'm getting my information from is where she got her information from. Because when I was reading her books, I'm like, whoa, this like literally looks like my writing in my computer. So that's always cool, because you're tapping into that same source. I tap into the same source that Dr. Wayne Dyer taps into, Nikola Tesla, Buckmaster Fuller, somewhat Louise Hay, who am I thinking? Jean. What's Jean's last name? I'll share this with you later. Jean, what's Jean's last name? Oh my God. Jean Houston, really amazing too. Anyway, so what does this mean? Let me ask. So obviously if you get a reading, I can tell you what to do. Does this mean we should not act? Yes. So some of you who've been thinking about acting, need to kind of let it go and take a step back. Okay. Everyone? No. Should I act? Yes. Should 80% of them? No. Should 50? No. Should 20% of them? 30? 40? No. So about 30% of you should be acting right now because you haven't in a while, or there's some truth that has not been spoken and he's been waiting to hear that from you, or that like he's just shy or he's confused, and this is just going to help him have more knowledge, ammunition, like tools, confidence to come forward. They need the confidence and the courage to come forward. So some of you need to act to bring forth that. Again, get a individual reading. If you like, subscribe, and comment, everybody, every single week, I'm going to give away a free reading as long as we are stuck inside and I'm not working my tail off and I've got a little bit of extra time, okay? So that will also give you guys, some of you guys, a chance to see how I operate, which most people enjoy my work, and I'd say pretty much everybody. And so, you might want readings in the future or share my skills with your friends. And, I'm really here to just help as many people as possible. My main sources of income are not individual readings. So I just realized that, and I just recreated different readings so that anyone and everyone no matter your budget right now, can come get some help and some assistance, okay? I know a lot of you have unemployment income that's like a lot of money, so you're probably, some of us are making more on unemployment than we were at the job, most of us. So you've got a little bit of cash to spend on things that are going to nurture your soul and give you more clarity to navigate your life. You're not meant to do it all alone, okay? I do offer coaching packages. I didn't put it on this, but if you need a coach to work with weekly, bi-monthly, twice a month, or even monthly, let me know. I've also thought about doing a subscription service where, a small monthly fee gets you like an emergency read, like one read, an emergency read, like a free text read, or, so many pendulum questions. So if you think that would be really cool, to have somebody to work with on a regular basis, just on like what you might need, I find it really helpful too to have somebody who can work with emergency stuff. So it's funny how a lot of friends of mine who I do some reads for, they will send me a text like, oh, what do I do? It's like a lot of people need emergency stuff. Like they had an idea of, sending a text, but they can't figure out what to do, and they just don't want to do it until they get that like yes. And so I run it on my pendulum. Like, somebody yesterday sent me something, and I was like, yes, the bottom of part of the text is great, but the beginning where it says, hey, is this not your number? Or it sounds confrontational. And she's like, oh yeah, right. I'm like, take that out. You don't need that, So, but that right there would have meant she's not going to get a response, because then it made it awkward for him to have to address that he didn't respond back to the last text. And the reason he didn't respond back to the last text is because she put 5 different thoughts in her text. And I love her to death, and we talked about this in detail, so don't feel attacked or put on blast. Of course, no, I don't put people on blast. I don't mention names and stuff. But, guys people in general have a hard time digesting too many thoughts. But the fact that there was 5 different thoughts about like what's going on, and how her work and her not work, and what was the other thing? Maybe some conspiracy stuff. It was just, there's too much for him to go, okay, well, that's great about your work, and sorry about that. And yeah, I've looked at, are you talking about this? Like, it's just, he's going to be embarrassed with what to send back. He doesn't know how to respond to that. So my masculine even said that to me. And when I saw him, he's like, I didn't know how to respond to your text. And, they were a little bit like, a little longer with like certain syncs and signs. And so guys in general are kind of thrown back by that stuff. It's a very personal experience. But what is he supposed to say? Like, whoa, cool. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I mean, no matter how he responds, it sounds like he's kind of leaving me hanging. Unless he says, oh my God, I also had a really cool synchronicity experience. Oh, mine tops yours. Like, I mean, it's just, you have to think about how somebody's going, again, put yourself in their shoes. Think about how they're going to receive what you're sharing. Is the sharing more about you just getting it off your chest? Because some of my stuff was more about that than getting a response. So then why am I feeling like upset or ignored when I'm not getting a response? That feeling of ignoring, that's about me. That's not even about them that much. What I was trying to share with my friends is he's not responding to her. He likes her. He came out of nowhere and texted her recently. He obviously wouldn't have done that and given her his new phone number to her if he wasn't still into her. Guys say bye-bye to girls they don't want to date or be friends with. Bye. Okay? They don't come back and go, let me make sure you have my number. So he clearly likes her, but he was not responding because he didn't know what to do. So it was more about him not being able to figure out how to do that than him not liking her or feeling like that text was going to be like he's no longer interested. When you're twins, when it's meant to be, there's no text that can make you not interested. Get that through your heads, guys. But right now, I want you to let go of thoughts that, I didn't do that right, or like everything hinges upon this one text, or, being hard on yourself, or he should be here by now. I just hate my life that I'm quarantining by myself. Maybe quarantining by yourself is the best, because if you were with him watching Netflix, you wouldn't be getting that cupboard cleaned out. Maybe you need to get all that laundry done and make everything perfect and beautiful and get that website up and do all of these things before he comes in, before she comes in. So be appreciative for where you're at and let go of all that heavy stuff. If you need to, if you've been feeling heavy and you've had some of these negative thoughts, I want you to take out a piece of paper right now. Don't even watch another reading, right now, and write down all the negative stuff you're feeling in one column. And then in the next column, I want you to turn it into a positive. Look for the silver lining in that thought. Do it. Ready? On your mark, get set, go. Much love. Talk to you guys soon. Like, subscribe, comment if you love this reading and you like the short versions, because I'll do more of these for you. And let's talk. Email me, twinflamechanneling@gmail.com. Let's do a reading. All right, look below for prices. All right, bye, guys.